But that hasn't stopped LeBron from coming up with new excuses. First, he came out with an injury.
This is the first time I've ever had a sustained knee injury where I had to okay, you got to get off your feet. I knew as soon as when the impact happened with me and DiVincenzo, I felt it right away. My knee locked up, and that's why I stayed on the ground for quite a minute to see if the knee will kind of release a little bit, and that's the MCL injury that I had. So 4 to 6 weeks, the docs told me. I have 4 or 6 weeks now. That's the benefit. That's the benefit.
But that shouldn't be too surprising since he does it every time he loses.
Pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand, so.
My ankle was the only thing that was kind of bothering me. Well, obviously bothered me in the later stage of the season.
I tore a tendon in my foot. Went to the Lebron James of feet. We was just hit with injuries after injuries after injuries, and it's hard to come back from that.
Even if we would have won game, at 5 at home, I would have probably missed 6 and 7, and even further. But
he said it was a grade 2 MCL sprain. Game 5 was still close when the impact happened, so he came up with this for insurance in case they lost. And that's why he didn't go to the locker room. If he really suffered that serious of an injury, he wouldn't be able to come back in the game or play the rest of the season if they won. And with that serious of an injury, he would have needed help to the locker room and crutches to leave the arena. Kevin Durant has suffered this exact injury dozens of times in his career, and every single time he goes straight to the locker room. The longest he ever played through an MCL sprain was 30 seconds, where he was completely immobile and writhing in pain the entire time. Not only did LeBron finish the game with 0 noticeable pain, he was even setting screens with other players running directly into that knee. And for those of you that are going to say LeBron just played through it and he's tougher than Kevin Durant, don't let his small frame fool you. Kevin Durant is one of the toughest players in the league. He played on a partial torn Achilles in the finals before tearing it all the way, and he only sits out when he absolutely has to.